Welcome back once again. So now we've almost done with the deployment of the cluster. We'll just complete a few tidbits here and there. So let's go to the table of contents and see what we have done. We up till now, so we've deployed the kube control manager. We've deployed the scheduler, and because of that we have our Nginx deployment working, the two pods, and you know why they're two pods, because you said the replica set is 2, which is what it is showing over here. And here is your deployment. The name of the deployment, keeps in mind, is Nginx dash deployment. Everything is fine, all nice and fine. All right, let's go back to our documentation. We'll come back to this point in a short while from now. So it says that you will now see that Nginx pods have also moved from pending to running state. You've seen that, yeah, these two pods. You'll also see that the deployment comes into the ready state with 2 by 2, both the pods, in the ready state. What we are going to do now is we are going to try to upscale or scale up our cluster. So it's a very simple command for it. It's called as kubectl scale, right? And see what happens. So we have 2 replicas of pod right now in our deployment. We'll try to scale it up to 5. So you should see 3 more pods coming up. Now before I run this command, right, what you need to see is quickly this, a little bit of syntax. So kubectl scale deployment, that's the way you scale up the deployment, and here you have to give the name of the deployment here, which is similar to the name that you have here, right? So this should show up as 5, and the replica set should show up as 5, and your pod should show up as 5, right? So let's do that, right? This has become 5, yeah, which is all fine. Lightning fast. The replica set has become 5, the deployments have become 5. If you wanted to scale it back to, let's say, 1, you don't need so many machines right now. See, it'll get terminated as well. Only 1 deployment. If you wanted to bring it back to its original state, you will see that the deployment will become 2, replica set will become 2, and you have a new Nginx deployment. So that, my dear friends, is it is that fast to change your deployments. Obviously, since we have only 1 machine right now, it is happening only in on this one particular machine. When we do this with the same thing with kubectl, we'll try and have multiple nodes in the cluster and see that how these pods get deployed on different machines. All right, so that is done. Playing around with the replicas is done. There's just one more thing which is left in the documentation, and that is about this. And when you deploy your kube control manager, what all do you see? You've seen this, the replica set has become 2. You'll see that the deployment were in pending state, now they are in ready state, right? The moment you put the scheduler over there, the pods have also become into the ready state. The only thing that you've not seen is this, the pause container, which I think should be pretty simple. Where would you see your pause container? Try and remember the command for it, right? For you to do that, what you need to do is something very, very simple. All right, just come back here. I'll just pull it up a little bit above. Remember our first few initial videos, Docker PS. Yeah. So you'll see that there are pause containers for almost every component of the cluster. So here is a pod, for your Nginx deployment, pause container for it. Here is for Nginx deployment. Here's another one for Nginx deployment. This is for scheduler. This is for scheduler. This is for control. Control manager. This is a pause controller for control manager. There's a pause controller for etcd. This is the etcd, right? This is the API server. Here's the pause controller for API server. So each one of these components have their corresponding pause controller, right? So that's what this point is saying, and it says that whatever we learned in the first video holds true. right? So we've done this and this as well. Excellent. From the next video onwards, we're going to start using the kube ADM command. All right. So see you next time. Thank you.